So today we had the hearings for Brett Kavanaugh and Christine Bailey Ford. They're actually still going on, but we're toward the latter part of the day. And I would say that in hearing her testimony now, I'm a lot more leaning toward her side. But I will say that that's mostly due to the fact that for some reason, with Kavanaugh, who came out and gave this speech about his family's been smeared and they've been treated so horribly, and I'm sure that that is what's happened, still won't commit to producing an FBI investigation. Um, Now, look, I understand frustration, I understand anger, I understand being upset with, charges such as these. I've had them myself, but if I were convinced that this was good, because he says this is ruining his life. He may never play for the girls' team that he was coaching, or rather coached again. That it's going to have these serious ramifications on him. So, if that's the case, why wouldn't he want his name cleared via a source that is independent of either party? And look, like I said before, my whole problem has always been the fact that I don't like when people can come out of nowhere and say something. And when I was watching TYT's coverage of it, you had John Iadarola mention that there's the plausibility that she was scared decade after decade, and didn't think about this guy that much because he was in the spotlight. Then this happens, then she comes from, like, okay, I can kind of get that. But this, even if this one turns out to be correct, and her testimony was very convincing, the Me Too movement in general has really served to cripple the believability of these charges. You see, when you have a plurality of people alleging something, with in most cases no proof, other than loads of people saying one thing, you effectively trigger an impulse reaction in individuals to say, okay, enough is enough. So, for example, if I came forward, let's say there's 300 million people in the U.S. If I come forward and say that I saw a UFO land and it picked somebody up and put them in there, someone will go, okay, conspiracy theorists will believe there's going to be a group of people who believes that. But if every single person starts coming forward and going, oh man, the UFO sighting happened, you're going to get people who, based off the premise of that alone, will say, okay, I'm tired of hearing this. That's enough. You're getting ridiculous. And look, I'm not trying to equate molestation or sexual abuse to UFOs, but I am equating that when you have loads of people alleging something decades after it happened, month after month, week after week, people are going to start lumping them all together and going, okay, fine, just get out of here with this. And you have to look at the opinion of the conservatives, because they've already had Trump alleged with these accusations, and I believe he had extramarital affairs. I don't care, because that doesn't impact any of his positions, so that has no effect on my opinion of him. But the conservatives are looking at this like we already had the president get alleged with this when he was running. We had Moore over there in Alabama get accused by these girls when he was running. And now we've got our Supreme Court pick getting accused too. So it's just this thing where all of these people who typically align with the right are going to feel that this is some kind of smear campaign against people that they like. Especially when they mentioned the thing with Clinton, for example. And that's a very accurate, way of diffusing the liberal position of, oh, we must go after all these accusers, because no one went after Clinton. He got impeached and got acquitted. That was the full extent of the investigation into his affairs and whatnot. So it's all a thing of, I get where they're coming from. I just wish people could understand that it's a lot less having to do with, I think all women are whatever. It's more so having to do with these people feel that the politicians they align themselves with are being unfairly aligned or maligned with these accusations that don't have anything going for them other than someone saying something. I brought up the Harvey Weinstein case multiple times, but in that case, you had a woman who recorded him trying to get her to come back to his hotel room 3 years ago. Now, obviously, in the 80s, they didn't have this kind of technology, but you get the idea. With that, it was easy to believe because the person has some kind of proof to verify what they're saying. With this, even if I'm more leaning toward it, I still can't pretend as if the people who don't believe it are wrong for thinking that. I mean, they've been sitting here for months just watching all these people get alleged and accused. Actually, years now, if you count the election cycle. So a good chunk of last year, all of this year, just allegation, 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 and they're tired of it. But yeah, I think Kavanaugh's weird for not wanting that investigation. Um, I would rather he step down, but of course my opinion doesn't matter. I think he's still going to get on the court because I don't believe in the just I don't believe in either of these parties to not be partisan. So I see maybe one Republican flipping over, maybe Collins, and even then she still is like a. The other ones are all going to vote for him. Or if enough Republicans flip over, or if like one or two flip over, then I think three Democrats will switch over. We still have Jones and Manchin sitting back there thinking we don't know that they're still on the fence publicly about these allegations or about Kavanaugh in general. Because my problem is always with his positions, not these claims. So I think he's still going to get on there, and I definitely this today has certainly pushed me more in the position of believing that particular accuser, just because why would you not want the investigation? But whatever, we people do all kind of strange things.